In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can take an emailed message into your company, or perhaps even a form that someone fills out. You will be able to analyze the content of the message and then appropriately send that to other individuals in your domain, your company, whatnot. So let's get started. For example, we'll take email as the first one. Let's say, for instance, you have a support inbox at a company and you get inbound requests. So what happens is you'll get those inbound requests here. Now this email right now, the way I have it wired up, and I'll show you in a minute, is going to be make, but it could be anything. You're going to receive an incoming email from Gmail, Outlook, doesn't matter. Once you get that message, we're going to send that message to OpenAI for processing. And OpenAI is going to look at that message and determine if it should go to admin, if it should go to support, if it should go to sales. And it does that in three main ways. First thing you do is you'd set up a system prompt telling OpenAI, you're basically giving it instructions, telling it how to act and process your messages. Then basically we're going to pass those messages across to make, which is going to send those off to email. So let me show you exactly what I mean. We're going to start with email as an example. So in the email example, you will see an emailed message. So that email message can come from an inbox. I'll show you an example of that. This would be an example of an email. So in this email, I need help with my product. It's not working as expected. This is urgent because I have a deadline. So this is the message. Again, we're sending it directly to Make, but you could send it anywhere. So what's going to happen is this email is going to be captured by this webhook, and you'll look at the data here and you'll see the text that says, oh, I need help with my product. It's not working. We have a deadline. The subject of the message is support, but the subject doesn't matter. We don't use that for processing. We're going to send that to OpenAI, completion and Make. So when you open this up, there's a few things to take note. Right now, I'm using the model 4.0, so GPT-4. The first message I define is a system message, and I tell this OpenAI system what it is. So I'm basically saying you're an intelligent assistant responsible for processing submissions and routing to appropriate inbox. Now I'm defining sales, support, or general. You could define many others, right? Depending on your business model, you could define that. And you would determine, you'd have to write a prompt to determine, hey, if it's a sales message, this is kind of what it's going to be related to. If it's support, this is what it's going to be related to. So you kind of identify this in the prompt, and then you also identify if it's high priority. So you evaluate the tone and urgency of the submission. Afterwards, what you're going to tell OpenAI is, I want you to return all responses in JSON. Now this is important because in order for us to take that message and properly break it apart for use, it needs to have some sort of format that we can identify. So in this example here, you'll notice that I give it an example of, hey, I want this JSON structure. I want you to tell me what inbox it goes to and if it's high priority or not. So once I do that, you'll notice here that the input was the message, right? So I sent it that system message, and then I sent it the dynamic email message. This would change depending on what comes in. And then the output is going to just be this JSON, just like I requested. So once I get that output, it's just a string, but I can parse that JSON. So once I parse it, it comes out as options. It's a collection. So I can individually map these items here. Now, for the sake of this example, there's a switch command or app in Make. And this switch app basically means I can take an input, and based on the output, I can change what I want to happen. So what this means is I put in the input of inbox, right? And this inbox determined this was a support message. So then I said, hey, if this is an inbox input here, the pattern of support, I want you to email this. If you determine it's sales, email this. Employment, email this. If it doesn't match any of these, email general, right? So the output of this switch statement is going to be an email address. So then here in this module, that's where I can just say, hey, the output is going to be the email address, which is going to be dynamic. So send this email to sales, send it to support, and the subject, I could include variables in there, but essentially I'm just saying, hey, here's the name, here's the email. If it's urgent, identify it, and then just put the message, right? So very simple, and it's a 5-step integration. And so it works anytime you send an email to this webhook, it will process it, determine who needs to get it, and it will send it here. Now I want to be clear, this is just an example. You could do a Slack message or an internal Teams message, or you could create a ticket in a ticketing system. You could do anything you want once you identified this step here. So in this tools here, I don't actually have to just send a Gmail. I could add a router here, and I could say, yeah, send an email, but also we could send a Slack message, right? You could go Slack, you could create a message, or I could send a Teams message. Microsoft, right? I could send a message to a channel. I could send a message to an individual. I could do all three, right? I could do just an email, but I could add a filter here that says if high priority is true. Let's find the Boolean. So I could say if high priority equals to true, then send a Slack message, because this is important, instead of just an email. So super flexible with what you can do. This is email here that's coming in. Now in this other example here, I have it as an Airtable form. So in this example, instead of it being an email, I'm saying, hey, it's a contact us form. So you could have a contact us form that you populate, and then once that contact us form is populated and submitted, it could dynamically send it over here to this watch responses module. I could get the full detail of the message. And then again, I'm doing the same exact steps, taking it through a router. I'm parsing it as JSON so I can manipulate and integrate with the data. And then you can use a switch command to get the email out and the other data and send an email. So super flexible. Hope this helps. I get some messages every now and then of people wanting this type of integration that we've built out, and I thought I would just do a quick video for the adventurous ones to try it out. So hope you like this video. I will put probably a link in the bottom just of the actual prompt, so you can get the prompt and maybe the blueprint, playing around with it yourself. And if you have any questions, throw it in the comments. Otherwise, that is the video. Have a good one.